YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back. We got rookie power rankings heading into week 13 of the NFL season. We took a week off from these so we would actually get some changes. Things were kind of staying the same, but we got some changes. Some guys really stepping up, boosting their stock, up these rankings. We have some players kind of getting back in the mix. Maybe they're out for a bit. So we got some changes this week. We're kind of getting to that point where it's tough to pick just 15 because we've been doing top 15 with some honorable mentions. You know, I almost want to squeeze like 25 guys in the top 15, which makes no sense at all, but it just shows how many players are playing very, very well this season and recently. So excited to break these down. We got full NFL coverage here, some college football content as well, so check it out. Recent videos down, pinned in the comments. Check out our Twitter, live updates on there. Always keeping you guys involved with polls, everything. Check it out. Be much appreciated. So the rookie ranking, you see some honorable mentions at the top. I mean, some of those guys are very tough to not squeeze in the top 15. Guy like Javonte Williams had a big game against the Chargers last week. They got him going in the passing game too, catching the ball to the backfield and making big plays after the catch. He's been phenomenal, breaking tackles, some angry runs. It's a guy I really want to squeeze in the 15, but it's a matter of the Broncos. They got to give him more. They got to give him more carries, and they're starting to get him more action. But keep giving him more because he's a stud. If he got as many carries as some of the other running backs, Najee Harris, Elijah Mitchell, I think he'd be ahead of those guys. So I'm a big Javonte Williams guy. It's one of those guys that I really want in the top 15, but there's more than 15 guys wanting there. Nate Hobbs been good. Jalen Phillips had a big time game last week at the Dolphins. I was a big fan of him out of Miami. He had 3 sacks, so he's getting going now, so I expect him to enter going forward, and as long as he stays consistent. Guy like Eric Stokes has been good. Christian Barmore, Elijah Moore from Ole Miss, now with the Jets, obviously, really playing well for the Jets. It's a matter of getting him chances. And early in the year, well, to start the year they kind of were, and then it seemed like things weren't clicking with him and Zach Wilson, so he got less snaps. Now they're getting him going again. So it's good to see Trey Smith. So back to the top 15, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah enters the rankings again. He was in here and in towards the top 5, until he got hurt and missed a chunk of games there, and that kind of hurt him. And still is, because when we saw him on the field, he looks like a better than number 15 type of rookie. But again, he's missed some games there, so that's kind of what's splitting him up. But if he just continues to stay healthy and continues to play the way he's been playing, he's going to get back up there easily in the top 10. So, I mean, he's been fantastic for the Browns, extremely rangy, very good in coverage, obviously, very clutch on third down. Devontae Smith was really starting to rise up, and then him kind of being off, maybe not he was off, maybe the passing game was off a little bit the last 2 weeks. Meanwhile, other guys are really taking off. Mainly that kind of pushed him down a little bit. I didn't show movement actually on this because there's been 2 games since our last power rankings. It might be a little misleading. Like I might have a guy going down even though he had a really good game because we got to take both those games. It may be misleading to the people that really don't listen to the video, so the complainers. So I didn't show the movement this week. We'll be back on that next week. But Najee Harris, 13. Yeah, Steelers' run game starting to go downhill. He hasn't been getting as many carries, but not as effective, so he's kind of been going down a little bit. Kyle Pitts, kind of the same situation, but as a tight end / receiver. Hasn't been super involved, and he was towards the top. Odafe Away, last game was pretty big time against the Browns. He's just a machine. He's kind of everywhere, getting sacks, forcing fumbles, so he's had a really good rookie year here. Very effective. Next group of guys, we got a Dolphin and then another Dolphin coming up. But Jalen Waddle's been tearing it up. Last week a big game against the Panthers, a very good defense in the Carolina Panthers as well. So I mean, you see how how much of an electrifying player he is with a performance like that. So he's kind of helping Tua get better. They're kind of getting more chemistry, which makes sense. So he's really taking off. Elijah Mitchell, the 49ers running back, a big piece to why this Niners rushing attack is dominant at the moment. The Niners are hot. What's the main reason? Is because they're pounding the football. They're being physical. They're winning time of possession. And, who is most responsible for that? I'd say Deebo Samuel and Elijah Mitchell. So you take Elijah Mitchell out of there, maybe they're not as effective. So I think he's a huge piece to what the 49ers success, for them having that success. So I really like what Elijah Mitchell's doing. He's up at 9. Greg Newsome, the corner from the Browns. So we see the second Brown on the list. He's been on the list for quite some time. Yeah, he's been fantastic for them. Lockdown corner. You see teams try to attack him because they don't really want to attack Denzel Ward. but Greg Newsome locking it down. He's really good coming at, after the ball, even if it's already caught, if it's a running back, making a clean tackle, in a crucial situation before the line to gain. So I really like Greg Newsome. Javon Holland, I'm a huge fan of what Javon Holland's doing this year. Earlier in the year, we didn't see too much of him, too much action from him. And why was that? Well, and the reasons, it makes sense. He missed the whole year. Because he opted out. I know a lot of guys did. But maybe the Dolphins just trying to find his correct role, and then they did that recently. I mean, not just recently, quite a few weeks ago. And he's been tearing it up. Now, what is that role? It's pretty much everything. He's getting after the quarterback. He's playing around the box. He's playing in the back end. He's rangy, making plays on the ball, huge pass deflections. We're even seeing teams kind of maybe throw away from him. Figure out where he's at pre-snap, and we'll play around him. I love those things. I really love Javon Holland's game. He's a do-it-all type safety. It's going to be a great one. He already really is a good one. Creed Humphrey, arguably been the best center in all of football this year, and he's a rookie, so he's at number 6 here. The Chiefs had a bye week the previous week, the week before. Another outstanding game for him. So, see 2 Dolphins, 2 Browns on the list so far. Those Dolphins are really tearing up. Jalen Phillips really getting close to making it. Let's go on to the top guys here. Patrick Surtain, the rookie corner from the Broncos, is having some great games. You see like the lockdown performances. You see the pick sixes he's getting. Back-to-back interceptions. That Chargers game, one went for 6. So, he's kind of, you gotta love it, because he's kind of that lockdown, but the playmaker guy at the same time. It's usually that debate, do the lockdown guys better or the playmaker guys better that kind of get beat sometimes but get the interceptions? He's doing a little bit of both. So he makes his way into the top 5 after some really good performances recently. Rashawn Slater's been fantastic for the Chargers. He's been up here all year. He's at 4. Jamar Chase was at 1 for a bit. The first time we did the rankings, Micah Parsons was 1. Jamar Chase was kind of taking over. But now he's kind of slid down to 3. But he's definitely still in that top-tier category for Rookie of the Year. Because he slowed down a little bit. It's not like he's playing bad. It's more so the Bengals are turning to the run game. The run game is really taking off. And it's kind of on top of that, the guys in the top 2 are playing out of their minds right now. Mac Jones at number 2. Earlier in the year, we knew he was looking good. He was looking like a natural, understanding, making pre-snap adjustments, understanding when the blitz is coming, playing against the blitz, getting the ball out against pressure, being very accurate on time. But maybe people weren't in love. People weren't in love with his stats. He wasn't getting that many balls downfield. Touchdown interception ratio, which stats don't play a big part for me, but they production matters. But I'm saying what other people probably thought of him. Maybe they won that touchdown interception ratio better. And now you look at him over the last several weeks, and he's getting more balls downfield. He's making more of those big plays. He's getting the touchdowns up, taking care of the ball a little better. Just had a big game against Tennessee Titans. It's a good team there, good defense they played against. So Mac Jones leading the Patriots, the red-hot Patriots. He's number 2. Micah Parsons got to be number 1. What this kid's able to do, we talk about it every week. But the linebacker, inside, outside linebacker, the edge rush position. Where he's most impressive is at the edge position. Because he looks like a natural getting after the quarterback with all different types of moves, winning with strength, speed, technique. Looks like he's been playing edge rusher for a very long time, and he's just playing it this year. And Penn State would sometimes line him up there. A lot of the production get after the quarterback were blitzes, A gap, B gap. So this is really new to him, and he's a natural. And he's better than just that might be an understatement. He's been great. So even when the Cowboys are a little bit off their game, he's still getting them back in, and he's still making those big plays to pick up that defense. It really feels like it. Like he's the guy of the defense. It's crazy to think about that because they got some other, DeMarcus Lawrence is just going to come back, but Trevon Diggs, all those guys. But Mike Parsons is kind of the guy you got to worry about, and he's the playmaker. He's the guy that's going to get the momentum for that defense. So what he's done, we've never seen before. So, yeah, and again, what Mac Jones is able to step in and do as a rookie, Patriots, one of the best teams in football. Jamar Chase was putting up historic numbers, was kind of going to beat his former teammate Justin Jefferson's rookie records last year. He was on pace, slowed down a little bit, but definitely can get and track. So, and Rashawn Slater's barely given up any pressures, really, it feels like this year. Again, Patrick Surtain, how he's able to be kind of a mixture of a lockdown, a playmaker. Just some ridiculous performances. Creed Humphrey just being maybe the best center in football. And again, I love Javon Holland's game. He's creeping up there. that might be a guy I may be higher. I don't know if anybody else does rankings, but I may be higher just because of his presence and he makes plays too. But how he's able to play about pretty much everything, and that's another one of those guys you kind of got to game plan for. You got to look at where he's at in the field as you line up, and not every quarterback can really dissect it. So really love that game of his. So. Rookies are heating up. They're starting to play, and it makes sense. It's a good class, lot of good freak athletes here, and we're later in the year where they're kind of getting chemistry. They're getting some play under their belt, knocking the rust off if they opted out last year. So it's good to see. They're really stepping up, and really some guys soaring up the boards. And there's even guys that maybe we don't have listed here that are very good. We only got 15 and some honorable mentions on here. There's a load of good rookies here. So really excited to see how these guys continue to play and who finishes the year off on top. We will see, and who wins the real Rookie of the Year. Always curious to see that type of stuff. So we got you covered, full NFL coverage here. So check out those recent videos. A lot of them pinned in the comments of this video and other videos. Like, subscribe, turn notifications on to join us for all that. We much appreciate. Follow our Twitter. Constant live updates there. Always talking with you guys. Check it out. Link down below for that. That's going to do it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.